Hi guys, as I mentioned in the previous video, there are three basic camera types in Maya. Camera, camera and aim, camera, aim, and tilt. So I'll find those three under create cameras and you'll find that grouping up here. Now, camera, the simple camera is what I call a one node camera. And that is almost like a freehand camera that you can move around if you had it in your hand. Camera and aim will have the camera and a target, a point that the camera will always be pointing to. And then the third one is camera, aim, and a way of tilting. That up portion is a way to control the camera tilt. So let's take a look at the top two, which are the ones that we use the most. So camera one, just clicking on that creates a camera on the scene. You rotate my scene here and you'll notice that the camera came in. That is the shape of the camera. We move it up so we can see it. I can go ahead and look at the world through that camera. So we've done this. Now, the camera and aim would be something that you could activate from the camera attributes. So if you go into camera attributes, you can change your free handheld camera, the one node, to a two node camera, where you will have camera and aim. Now, when you do that, you'll notice that a line sticks out of your camera and there's something like a target at the other end of that line. This target is a locator. Basically, it is an aid to your camera pointing towards where the camera will always be pointing to. So if your intent is to have the camera always look at something on the scene, you would place that locator at the point where you want the camera looking, and it doesn't matter how you move your camera or rotate it, the camera will always be pointing in that direction. So you'll also notice under the outliner that a new hierarchy has been established for that camera. So if I look under the camera one group, if I uncollapse that grouping, you will notice that I have a camera one now, and the camera aim, which is the locator. That's what this is. So I can select my camera from here or my locator. Both of them can be animated independently if necessary. So let's go ahead and place this locator right here on the floor, right next to this wheel, for example. And let me move my camera at this point. As you'll notice, that little line sticks to that part of the wheel. And if I go over it, you'll notice that the camera rotates around to match the position of the locator. Let me change my camera to my camera one, and you'll notice that it doesn't matter if I aim, rotate, you'll see that my camera is always pointing in the exact same direction. And let me actually focus this whole thing and place my camera out here. As I rotate, you will notice that it is always, let me actually get rid of this room. If I go ahead and rotate, it's always pointing to that locator. And if I move the locator itself, you will notice that my camera will rotate as well. So that is how you create the camera and aim. Now let's switch to the perspective viewport once again, and let's take a look at my camera. Let's go ahead and move this camera around. And if I move my camera and activate this camera and change it from camera and aim to camera, aim, and up, you will notice that I now have another handle on top of the camera, which allows me to tilt the camera. So if I go ahead and move this and apply values to it, it will affect the way the camera looks at the whole scene based on how I control the tilting. So I avoid the camera moving around too much. I have complete control over that. This is the difference between those three basic types of cameras.